Chapter 54, Lynn. Since Daniel stayed the night last night, I'm actually at school early. I hate mornings and getting up, but Daniel's always been an early bird. He has no problem dragging my grumpy butt out of bed like an excited puppy first thing in the morning. We spent first period working on homework in the library. With all the homecoming nonsense last week, I was worried about getting behind, but between studying with Daniel and Xander and working with Drew, I've managed to stay ahead of everything. For English today, we have a substitute and are allowed to work on our projects and sit in groups. Without needing to discuss it, Carter, Andrew, Xander, and I push all of our desks together. I'm glad because I'm still feeling off from this weekend and don't feel up to spending the whole class worried about Mrs. Green thinking I'm not pulling my weight. Andrew, sorry again for dragging you into all of my drama this weekend, I say once everyone else is busy working or visiting. Oh, it's fine. I mean, what are friends for? Andrew's cheeks turn a bit pink. Friends shouldn't put you in the line of fire. I'm sorry for the stuff Mark said about you. I place my hand on top of his in a hopefully comforting gesture. You aren't responsible for what Mark says or does. Could you stop apologizing for him being a jerk? Xander butts in. But he wouldn't have said anything to Andrew if he hadn't been with me, I turn to face Xander. Xander rolls his eyes. Mark is a jerk and is going to continue to be a jerk regardless of what you do. You aren't responsible for any of his behavior or any of the nonsense that comes from his mouth. Most of what comes out of his mouth is a load of bull anyway. I'm starting to get irritated with Xander, even if I should have expected him to get overprotective after yesterday. Can you butt out? I wasn't talking to you. Like I said, it's fine. Andrew takes my attention off of my brother. Xander's right about it not being your fault. Mark chose to be a jerk. And I wanted to dance with you. You didn't do anything wrong. Xander squeezes my hand before withdrawing his. If anything, dancing with you has increased Drew's popularity. Carter nudges Andrew's shoulder with his. Andrew shoots him a look I can't decipher. What? It's true. How many girls have tried to talk to you this morning? Andrew's face flushes and he mutters something I can't quite hear as he looks down at his desk. Oh, it's so not irrelevant. You usually have no one but Kaylee and me seeking your company. Today, you had 3 different girls in band come talk to you, Carter says emphatically. Can we please talk about anything else? Andrew says without lifting his head up. When do y'all want to come over to work on our projects next? I let the subject drop. Maybe Xander is right, and I need to let all of Mark's behavior go. He's being a jerk, and it's not like he has a reason to keep bothering Andrew. From what Carter says, it isn't bothering Andrew that I used him as a shield from Mark, and that seems to have actually helped him. If being around me has helped Andrew's reputation with the other band kids, then people can't all be thinking like Mark. I guess that means Xander and Daniel are right, that it's all Mark, and because he's a jerk. I wish I could go back in time and not date Mark in the first place. He wasn't worth my time when we dated, and is worth even less now. With all of Mark's behavior, I'm done caring about his feelings, but I'm still concerned about my friends being caught in any backlash from him. The bell rings, and I head to pre-cal with Xander. Andrew said he needed to talk to Carter about something and followed him towards his next class. We're almost to pre-cal when Mark steps in front of me. Lynn, I wanted to apologize for Saturday. I didn't mean, Mark starts to say. You didn't mean what? I interrupt. You didn't mean to insult me? You didn't mean to pick on my friend? Or you didn't mean to slap me? I keep my voice calm, even if it gets more forceful with each question. I feel Xander step closer to me, and I'm glad he's here to keep me calm. I didn't mean to do any of those things. I just got so jealous seeing you dance with all of those other guys. I care about you. It's only been a week since I told you I love you. It's hard for me to see you with someone else. I'm so sorry I lost my head and lashed out at you. I want to be with you. I take a deep breath to keep from going off on Mark the way I want to. Xander rolls his eyes. You don't care about her. You only care about you, and you don't like being told you can't have something. Now, can you move out of the way? We have a class to get to. Mark is clearly taken aback that Xander said anything to him, let alone that he stood up to him. This is between me and your sister. Mind your own biz. I cut Mark off with a wave of my hand before he can finish. Do not talk to my brother like that. This stopped being between us a while ago. I'd say it stopped being between us when we broke up and there was no longer an us. But I'm sure anyone you ask would agree it definitely stopped being between us when you slept with Whitney on Saturday. So why don't you stop harassing me and go hang around your new girlfriend? Mark visibly pales and his eyes go wide. He clearly thought I'd have no idea about him and Whitney. Whitney isn't my girlfriend. She doesn't mean anything to me. I was wasted and she was there and willing, Mark tries to argue. I roll my eyes. That makes it worse, but still not my problem. I walk around Mark. He grabs my arm to try to keep me there. If I were you, I'd let go of my arm right now. I'm fairly confident your coaches don't want you assaulting me on campus again. I still love you. Mark releases my arm. I walk away with Xander and don't stop until I make it to my desk in pre-cal. Thankfully, Xander lets me walk the whole way in silence. I can't believe Mark thought he could say all of that horrible stuff to me, slap me, sleep with someone else, and then get me back. I broke up with him in the first place. Why would all of this bad behavior make me want him back? I'm so glad that Nicole told Tristan about Whitney and Mark Saturday at the after party. It helped me let go of any lingering guilt over ending things with Mark and helped me see that he was a controlling jerk who lashed out when he didn't get his way. Even if that led to a conversation I didn't exactly want to have with Xander and Daniel. With Whitney doing things with Mark that the guys knew I wouldn't have done, it brought into question whether Mark pressured me or tried anything while we were together. I didn't want to tell them about him pressuring me to do more than kiss, but after Tristan's revelation, there wasn't much I could do to get out of that conversation. Thankfully, Oliver and Tristan accepted my dismissal of the topic when I told them I handled Mark on my own. I asked them not to talk to Jet or Grayson about it. If they asked about anything, to point them my way and leave it alone. I'm hoping neither of them connect the dots on their own. They're both already hotheads and mad at Mark over the slap. The last thing I want is them getting into a fight with Mark, especially on school grounds. I don't want them to get suspended from school or the team because I dated a jerk. After agreeing not to tell Grayson and Jet, Oliver and Tristan got off the phone. That left me with only Daniel and Xander to face. After all of my avoidance over everything with Mark, I knew they weren't going to let me get away with a quick dismissal of the topic. I told them about the things Mark said while we were together, and now I had to continually stop his hands from wandering where they shouldn't be when we kissed. He made me feel uncomfortable and second-guess what I was doing or what I was wearing. Mark made it seem like it was my fault he had these expectations I didn't want to meet. It made me feel vulnerable and small. Honestly, thinking and talking about it still makes me feel that way. I got through telling them everything before I started crying. I'm glad Xander and Daniel know now, and it doesn't feel like a secret weighing me down. It's good to have their support and validation. It made me realize how worried I was about other people agreeing with Mark. Once I got my emotions back under control, Daniel and Xander were ready to go to war for me. But I don't want a war. I want Mark to leave me alone. Besides, I don't need them to fight my battles for me. Now, with Mark handled, I start thinking about the other reasons I don't want Grayson to know about Mark trying to push my boundaries. For one, to be completely honest, it was awkward to tell Daniel and Xander, and I tell them everything. For another, I've been starting to think Daniel may have been right about Grayson. There have definitely been a few signs this past week that he might be interested in being more than friends. I'm not sure how I feel about that yet, but I don't want him going caveman on Mark because he has a thing for me. I like that the guys know I can take care of myself and that they don't get overprotective of me. I'm not sure Grayson would act like he remembers that I can take care of myself if he knew Mark even hinted at wanting to do more than kiss. After his behavior this weekend, I'm past caring about Mark's feelings, but I do care about Grayson, and picking a fight with Mark is only going to get him hurt by affecting the team. Oliver walks in with Kaylee to pre-cal and sits next to her. I'm glad things seem to be going well for them. I shake away the worries over everything with Mark and try to focus on the positive things of the last couple of weeks. Kaylee and Oliver are becoming closer. Andrew and Carter joined our friend group. Xander hanging out more with the Knights. By lunch, word is spread of the scene Mark caused, and there are rumors about him being benched or suspended from a game or two for slapping me at the homecoming dance. From what I've heard, the coaches are counting that as having a fight on school grounds since it took place at the school gym. I haven't heard anything about anyone thinking I'm dating Andrew, so that's good. I don't want him to become a target for Mark's ridiculous drama. With all that's happened this morning, I'm more than ready to have a break from people staring at me or asking about Mark. Want to get food, then hang out at the guest house for lunch? I asked towards the end of class. I don't ask anyone in particular since our corner of the room is just the Knights and Xander. Wanting to hide from the masses after all the drama this morning? Xander raises his eyebrows. Basically, I turn to Kaylee and Andrew, who are sitting with us, and invite them since I don't want them to feel excluded. Y'all are welcome to come too. As much as I don't want to be around other people right now, Andrew and his friends seem cool. Sounds good. Is it cool if I text Carter to join us? Kaylee pulls her phone out. Yeah, of course. I smile warmly.